So now I'll go over one method that you can use to do this, the mechanical. You do not need this little view right here, but you do need everything else. So I know that I need to get some certain things out of my exemplar file. So let me go open that one really quickly first, type my design center and open drawings and get some layers and things like that. So layers, maybe I'll just take them all just to be not knowing what all I'm going to need. And probably it looks like, let's see, most of my dim styles are 2 decimal places. All of the dim styles are 2 decimal places. So let me come over here. Actually, let me go back and get my layers. I don't think I put them in this one. I think I put them in back in my exemplar. So dim styles, I'll need XX none. I'm going to need a layout, which is my mechanical A. That should get me pretty well set. I'm going to go ahead and close this so it's out of the way now. So I'm going to do a bunch of stuff on my construction layer first, just to see. So I'm going to draw that. Well, I think I'll just go ahead and start drawing and see how it goes. Let me make sure I'm set in my inches. I'm going to turn that off. So I'm going to draw this part of it first because I know that. So I've got a circle with a diameter of 0.75. Circle, diameter, 0.75. And I'm going to check that because I get those wrong a lot. Diameter, 0.75. Good, I got it right. And this one has a radius of 1. And then coming off of these sides, I come over 1. Those line up. So I come over 1. And I'm going to do a lot of quadrant work. So let me make sure over here that I've got quadrants, I've got midpoint, might even have some perpendiculars. So I'll come over 1, and I'll come over 1, and then I'll come down, and I'm going to come all the way down, and I'm going to trim away what I don't want. Now I've got that, and this hidden line is 0.3 over, so I can offset that. 0.3. And put that one, excuse me, I'm about to sneeze, on hidden. And then over here, it tells me that I've got a radius of 0.1. Unless it says so, the radius is 0.1. So I can do a fillet with a radius of 0.1. So I'm seeing that I'm getting a lot of good information off of that. Now, if I come up 0.8, I'll know where that is. So I can do an offset of 0.8. And I don't know how far. Oh, there it goes. It goes 3 inches. So if I find this spot here and then go 3 inches, that's where that one goes. And I can get rid of what I used extra. And then this one says it's up 0.4. Offset 0.4. And align. So I've got a lot of this one drawn now. See a radius of 0.2. Fill it. Radius of 0.2. Oh, that was kind of weird. That's actually just a setting. You can change that setting so that it doesn't do that. But I don't mind it. Often it's easier. And now I'm going to have, these ones are not noted, so they're 0.1. So now I have all of my front view, but I don't know where all this stuff is. So I'm going to draw my top view now so that I can locate all of this, and then I'll put this back into place. Oh, and I need to put my center lines and things like that in there. I'm going to do that somewhere else. Okay. And I'm not going to do it exactly like you see it here. I'm going to do it just a little bit different. Okay, so now let's go to what's up above. Now I'm going to go to my construction lines because I know things have to line up in a certain way. The end of it has to line up with that. There has to be something lined up there. There has to be something lined up there. And there has to be something lined up at the end. And this line goes all the way. So I can draw a line. I'll just go all the way across right that. There we go. And then I know that it's 2 inches in that direction. Now I've got some really good target points. To work with. Let's see, this thing comes as 0.3, so I could do an offset of 0.3. Yeah, it slowly starts to take shape. I drew too much, and now I've just drawn this part. And of course, that needs a fillet. And that fillet didn't have a sign on it, so a dimension on it, so I'm going to make it 0.1. That's kind of cool. I've got a lot of that. Now I got all this stuff. This is going to be a bunch of circles. So I see that there's a center 1/2 inch, 1 inch, and 0.8. Let me do some offsets. Offset of 1/2 inch. Offset of 1 inch. And an offset of 0.8. Oh, you know what? This, I look like I've got something off a little bit here. Always good to be checking things out and see what you might have done wrong. That's only, oh, I made it 3.75 from the very end, 3.70 from the very end. Okay, so that all has to move. That what I just did there should be 3.7 and it's 2.95. Let's see if I can fix that. I need it to be 0.75 longer. That's the stretch command. And I'm going to go this way, 0.75. There. That's cool. I like that. That looks a little bit better. Okay, and then I've got some circles to draw. This circle from all the way across is 0.5. Now I can get back onto my geometry layer. Circle with a diameter of 0.5. And this one, ooh, that's weird. I'll do this inside one first. I think that says 0.6. And then I can just do some connecting. And some trimming. And now what's really cool is this one can do an offset. 0.2. Now I can turn pretty much everything else into a geometry line. So if I picked all of those and put those onto geometry, I'm pretty close. I have to do a little bit of trimming here. And now these ones have some sort of a large radius, a radius of 0.4. Okay, so now I have this little hole. These are hidden lines when you see it up here. So let me go to my hidden layer. And I know that I have some lines. Go up and show that hole. There we go. And all the rest of it is putting in some center lines and some things like that. Oh, no, I've got to do this part now. I forgot a part. So I know that this thing lines up. That's the beauty of orthographics. And it's 0.1 tall. And then this one goes all the way through. And those ones become hidden lines. And these ones become object lines, geometry lines. There, now I've got it drawn. And all the rest of it is putting your dimensions on so it looks like this, putting on your notes, bringing your title block in. Remember, I did that here. Getting this all set up. So, and putting in some center lines. Now, you can put your center lines in this space if you want. And so here's how I do center lines. Let's see. Let me go make sure my dimensions XX none. Okay, so now I'm in my XX none, and I should be able to put a center mark, and I'm going to put it on the small one. Okay, that is sufficient for that. Okay, and then I can put a center mark on this one. And that, whoops, I have something not quite square, so I did a poor job with my drawing. I got something out. Oh, yeah, it's probably due to something wrong there. Okay, so you'll have to take a little bit more care on it. And then here's your center line. Now notice this center line is solid and the other one is not. This actually meets standards, but if you'd like to, you can change that if you'd like to. It's not required because the standard doesn't say to, but it's called your line type scale. Line type scale. And you can change that to say 0.75, maybe even 0.5 to get that to show. Now I might have to go even smaller than that. There it goes. That's really not necessary though. Okay, so there you go. That's your work for the mechanical.